Hello, Dinner with Dad peeps. Good to see you all. Glad you're with us. Tonight, I'm making one of my favorite things. I think I say that a lot, don't I? One of my favorite things.
I think so.
This recipe, however, is not brand new. It's one that I've made several times, but we've never recorded it. One of my favorite things in the world is fettuccine Alfredo. I love Alfredo sauce, or chicken Alfredo. If I go to eat pasta anywhere, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna order Alfredo and chicken Alfredo. So tonight, I'm making a low-carb version. We're making chicken Alfredo bake with broccoli. It's so good. And it's very, very simple, and mostly it's done just right in my cast iron skillet. So I'm gonna start by mincing up a bunch of garlic. Voila! Got the garlic. Now, this recipe, and we'll talk about this more later, but there's a couple ways you can make this. I am doing this recipe a little different than the way I've ever done it before, Callie. Because I've made this several times, right? And we all really like it. But normally, and the way the recipe calls to do it, is to kind of sear your chicken in the skillet and cut it into little bits, little pieces. But I decided this time, instead of doing that, that I was going to use shredded chicken. Because I like the kind of texture of shredded chicken, you know what I mean? And it kind of, that shred, well, I'm thinking this in my mind, I've never done it with this recipe, but it'll kind of give like a little bit of like, seem like pasta, you know, because it's shredded. What do you think? Far-fetched?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, I've already boiled my chicken. So I have about, 2.5 pounds or so here of chicken, and I've already boiled it, so it's already done. I'm letting it cool, and I've seasoned it with salt and pepper. So that's why this is here. It's cooling, and then in a little bit, I'm gonna take my forks and shred it up, okay? But first, I'm gonna get our sauce going. So I have my cast iron skillet with heat on. I'm going to add some butter.
How much?
That much.
Oh, come on, look at the label. You can do it.
It's about 3 to 4 tablespoons. 3 to 4 tablespoons. And with that, I'm going to add in my garlic. I'm just gonna let that saute here for a few minutes. Oh, nothing smells better than garlic and butter. Oh my. O-M, as we say. We leave off the G. Okay. So, I just gotta let this kind of saute here for a few minutes. What did you do today, Callie?
I've been making a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, she has. We can't tell you for what. It's top secret. But she's actually been helping me with something. Little project I'm working on. But yeah, we've done that. It's been kind of a lazy day. It's kind of a lazy day for us, right? You had a piano lesson.
I did have a piano lesson though today, so.
Yes. We got our walk in this morning. Really went out extra early this morning before it got too hot. Although it still got hot, didn't it?
It did, but it was better. The first half was really nice, actually.
Yeah, it was really nice. So we've had a good day, and we're excited about this low-carb meal. We're like ravished. We are ready to eat.
Well, since our vacation and we've had, just lots going on, you haven't really made a Dinner with Dad meal for a while.
I know. Is the last time we filmed one was when we were on vacation?
It was the day after that quick 5-minute meal.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Since then, we've had people to our house. We've had lots going on. It's been really fun. But now I think we're kind of getting back into our groove. And I know
Our routine.
Our routine.
Walking, bedtimes.
Yes. While this is kind of sauteing, let's go ahead and check on our chicken and see how it's doing. If it is, I guess it doesn't matter if it's cool, really. So the easiest way to do this, and we'll probably just do a time lapse. Oh, there's the phone. is just you take a couple of forks and just do that. We'll be back. All right, so I started on the chicken, but now my sauce needs my attention pronto. So in addition to this buttered garlic, which smells divine, I could just like eat it by itself.
I don't know if it would taste very good though.
I don't know. It smells awfully good. I'm going to add some cream cheese. It has been sitting on my stove for a little while, so it is softened. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to have to whisk that in really good here in a minute. Oh, I don't have all my utensils out.
What is wrong with you? You're always prepared.
My wife had to make a meal tonight to take to someone who, anyway, we volunteered to take a meal to someone who's ill. So she was in here cooking earlier and she moved all my stuff around.
How dare she?
I know. Doing the Lord's work. Okay, so I added the cream cheese in, and then I'm adding in a cup of, you guessed it, heavy whipping cream.
Do you have to do that every time you use heavy whipping cream? Like the amount of times.
Well, you know, it makes it fun. It makes it fun.
It does.
I mean, come on.
It does.
And now I'm using steam in the bag broccoli. Okay, so I'm going to throw it in. Microwave for 4 to 6. I'm going to do, I like my broccoli, I don't like my broccoli hard. So I'm going to cook it because I'm doing 2 bags. I'm going to do 7.5 minutes. There, I said it. Okay. So I'm going to whisk. So the Italian seasoning, a half a teaspoon.
While you're doing this, will you tell us a story?
What kind of story?
An entertaining story. It could be from the past, the present, or the future, whatever.
I'm totally unprepared for such a story.
How about, can we tell the shark story?
Oh yeah, have we not told it?
No.
Okay. So.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Yes.
Just kidding.
So, 2 episodes ago, you may have seen that we did a video from our vacation. We were on location at our vacation spot in Pensacola Beach, Florida. And we had a great time. And it was awesome.
And we were able to social distance. There were not very many people on the beach, so it was really great. We didn't really have to interact with any people.
Yeah, we ate every meal in. We cooked every night, and we cooked really simple things. We never went into a restaurant. Except on the drive down, we had to eat, get takeout and stuff. And we went into one restaurant, but the beach was, we practically had the beach to ourselves. There was hardly any people there. So before you judge us, just know that
we were able to take all of the necessary precautions.
Yes, and it was great. It was really great. So anyway, our first full day at the beach. We had gotten there on a Sunday and we had checked out everything. Our condo was a block from the Gulf of Mexico, the ocean, but is also up against the bay, the Santa Rosa Bay, which is across from the mainland of Pensacola. Anyway, we went and checked all this out on Sunday. It was beautiful. We decided that on Monday morning, our first full day, that we would set up camp, like you do at the beach with your umbrellas and your chairs at the Gulf. Well, on Sunday night, the Gulf was perfectly flat and just so nice on Sunday. We swam a little bit. It was awesome. And we're not ocean swimmers, but it was just great. So that's why we decided to set up there on Monday. Well, Sunday night there was a really bad storm, terrible lightning. I mean, it was awesome. But the Gulf on Monday morning was a little rough. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was still...
but not as nice and calm and
not
flat
as calm as
it was
Sunday.
on Sunday.
I think they had 1 to 2 foot waves, which is still pretty small, but for the Gulf, it's a little rough. So anyway, we were set up. We had been in the water. I was back out under the umbrella reading my book. Joy and Callie were sitting on the sand, right as the waves, crash up on the sand. They were down there in their beach chairs, and Ben had decided he wanted to go out. And again, we don't go out very far, maybe up to our waist max, because we're just not big ocean swimmers. But he's out there, and all of a sudden I look up from my book, and I see, and we were there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and there was hardly anybody else there. But there were a few people around. But anyway, I look up and about 20, no more than 20 feet from Ben, I see this big black fin sticking out of the water.
Oh no!
I thought I was going to die. I'm sitting in a beach chair that's like this far off the ground, you know? So I'm like hauling myself off while I'm screaming my head off.
And I'm sitting down there, and you know, the crash of the waves and the wind, it's hard to hear, and he was maybe like 20 feet behind us or so. And so I casually said to Mom, hey, Dad is yelling for you. And
Yes.
just at that moment, she looks up and she sees the black fin.
The black fin, yes.
Yes.
By the way, I'm adding a little bit of chicken broth to this to thin it out just a little bit. Because this is the broth that I cook my chicken in. So I don't want it to get too thick because I've got a lot of stuff to go in here, lots of cheese. Anyway, as I'm whisking away here, I run. Finally, Joy looks up and sees the black fin. We yell at Ben to just come in, and he doesn't even ask any questions. He just starts running in. We think for sure that he's going to get eaten by Jaws. But then about 10 seconds later, we finally, and at first, you know, the waves were a little rough, so all we could see was the fin. But then once the waves kind of calmed out there for a second, then we saw the whole body of the dolphin, Flipper.
You know how they go, they're like, ooh, yeah.
The dolphin right there.
And the people like several feet down the beach, they were like, oh guys, look, there's a dolphin. Oh, it is so fun. And we're over here almost having
like,
a heart attack.
Oh, I mean, the adrenaline was crazy. I'm adding some pepper and salt into this mixture here.
So, and Ben is now here. Can you tell us what that was like?
I had no idea what was happening. They were just yelling my name, so I ran as fast as I could with waves hitting me, almost knocking me over.
And what
Yeah.
did you say right after that?
Something along the lines of I'm not getting back in or something.
He said, I'm never getting in the ocean again. But he eventually did. But
did.
it was quite a scare for everyone.
It was quite a scare.
So that is our beach story.
Yes. And then when we went to the pier one night, we did see sharks at the end of the pier. I mean, like dozens of them jumping out of the water.
Because the Gulf is so clear, you can see pretty much all the way down to the bottom. And we saw like at least 20 or 30 sharks down there.
They weren't huge, big sharks,
But they were sharks.
but they were sharks. And you know, the people fish off the pier, so they're drawn to the pier and all that bait.
There was a kid that actually caught a shark, but it broke his line, so he couldn't reel it in.
So that was another wild experience.
We were all a little fearful after that, but we got back in because then the end of the week the water was so clear and so calm again. We did get stung by some jellyfish, some little jellyfish, not the big ones that really hurt you that you might have to go to the hospital for or whatever. So there were lots of little jellyfish. Almost, you could hardly even see them. Callie saw one that stung her,
But they only hurt for a second. I mean, not even as bad as a bee sting.
yeah.
Anyway, what did you just add in?
I added in a cup of Parmesan cheese. Shredded Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add a little bit more too, because I'm upping this recipe a little bit, kind of as I go. So I've turned this down to low, and I'm just trying to whisk this cheese in. It needs to melt and just kind of incorporate.
Let's take a look at what it looks like so far.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It looks like an Alfredo sauce.
Yes.
You're doing a great job.
Aren't I?
That's our broccoli.
My broccoli's done. I'm not quite ready for that yet. But what I need to do pronto is I need to shred this chicken. So, you know how to shred chicken. You just take a fork, you hold part of it, and then you just pull like this.
Here's a nice time lapse.
All right, so I have shredded all the chicken. It's not my best shred job, but I'm kind of in a hurry. So we're gonna go ahead and add this to our sauce. Come with me.
You know, I've heard that you can like shred chicken with like a mixer, but like I don't know what to say about that.
I know, I have seen videos about that where you can use like a hand mixer.
Yeah, like a hand mixer.
To shred chicken. I am way too much of a chicken to try that? I don't know.
Why don't you let us know? If
Have you ever done it?
Or do you have any like chicken shredding hacks?
Yeah, because I mean the whole fork thing is kind of for the birds. I'm full of them today. All right, so I'm going to mix in my chicken here. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit now. Just a little bit. Get this incorporated here. I'll have a couple big pieces of chicken in there. Oh well. It's just us.
It's just us. It's
Just
just dinner with
Just
Dad.
dinner. Now, I'm going to get out our broccoli from the microwave.
Don't burn yourself.
I know. I'm going to drain it first. All this Alfredo sauce. I hope I have enough sauce. Looks a little dry to me.
Looks a little.
Sahara Desert tea.
Yeah.
I think it'll be totally fine.
I think so. It'll taste delicious.
Delicious.
So, is that it?
Not yet. Not yet. So, what we do next is, and this is a new trick that I'm trying. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Oh, wrong place. Wrong place. Back up. I gotta get in the fridge. Why is everybody watching me?
What do you mean?
All our 12 viewers saw this.
Normally I would just, chop up some bacon, but for sake of time, who opened this?
Ben did.
Who didn't open it? I'm just gonna use, I don't know, just like, these are real, these are not like those crunchy ones, this is just real bacon. I'm gonna put like a quarter of a cup. All right, back to me, back to cooking. So the next thing we're gonna do is, we're gonna throw on, of course, some more cheese. We're gonna put on some mozzarella cheese on top.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Mozzarella. And then we're gonna pop this bad boy in the oven.
Oh, I see.
Just for a little bit. Just
So
for a little bit.
this meal is required to have a cast iron skillet.
If you have a cast iron skillet, it is best because then you can pop this thing in the oven. And then I have some basil. I'm just gonna sprinkle on top for some nice added flavor.
Does it really have flavor or is it more aesthetics?
Basil has a lot of flavor. Smell it. You can have too much basil, by the way.
But like parsley.
Parsley, there's not as much flavor. You would need a lot more of that. All right, so you're gonna see me in a minute pop this in the oven, but I'm gonna wait because not all of our family is home. Once you pop in the oven, you just put it on the broiler for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then you're done. So you will see me do that very soon. Timer's going off. So what you didn't see is I put my cast iron skillet, the whole thing, in the oven on the broiler high for 2 minutes. Now we're gonna take it out. Oh, perfect. So we had that layer of mozzarella cheese on top there with the basil. We just put it in for 2 minutes just to give it a little browning. So you've got this awesome Alfredo sauce, chicken, broccoli, creamy goodness. Get you a little salad together. This is the perfect low-carb comfort food meal. I know we love it. I hope you'll love it as well. Thanks for joining us on Dinner with Dad.
Yes, and if you try one of our meals, please send us a picture. We would love to include it in one of our next videos. And if you have your favorite low-carb recipe, please send it our way. We would love to try it. We would love to. And with that, thanks for watching.